Hi.
Hi.
Woohoo!
Hello, everybody. So I made our little agenda. Pretty cool. So how's everybody doing?
Doing well.
Good.
How's everybody's life going? How's class?
Fantastic.
Great.
I love life.
Everybody's stressed out or okay? Busy.
Yeah, busy.
I'm really excited for this assignment on Friday. It's going to be very educational. It's cool because it actually pertains to my career field, so that's going to be good.
That's
There you
awesome.
go. Cool. So, Riley, you wanted to talk about the annotated bibliography, like what she wants.
Yes, I haven't done one, so I'm like freaking out a little bit.
Yeah, that's okay. So what she wanted in our research class was like the first paragraph she was like summarize the article. The second paragraph she was like critique the article, and the third you say how does it apply to what we're doing. So we're talking about Coca Cola, talking about them. That's just kind of how she did it. I've sent that in the agenda thing, like what, and it's actually a pretty easy thing. Like they're usually around 200 to 300 words a piece. They're not like
Super long.
200 to 300 words per paragraph or per, like, source?
per source.
Okay.
So like that's your source. So like 100 words of critique, 100 word summary, 100 word critique, 100 word how does this apply ish. 100 to 200 per little paragraph, I would say.
So, what do you mean by critique? Like,
What do I mean by what?
critique. So you do a summary, and then you said you critique it. What do you mean by that?
So say like you would critique the article and say like, is it valid? Is it accurate? Did they have a good population size? What was within the article? Like, did they prove what they were trying to prove? Like, is it valid? So like, if they did a hypothesis, said, I hypothesize that girls wear more red than boys do. Throwing out a random hypothesis. And then they test that. They test the colors green and yellow. Then they're not really right at all because they're not testing what they hypothesized. Something like that.
Gotcha.
Yeah. The clarity of the article is something else that you can do. There's lots of other little things. I can send y'all a sample of one that I've done in the past if y'all want me to. If y'all want to.
That sounds good.
Okay, I'll put that up if I send y'all a sample one. I did one. I'll send the one I did for last semester's class.
Okay.
Sounds great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right. You want to talk about sources? Is that next?
Yeah, you go first.
Go for it.
Me?
Yes.
Okay. So are we just going to email all these? How are we going to compile them, basically? Or are we going to...
I think email.
Do your annotated bib with your sources and send it to me. And then I'll edit everything, make sure everything's APA and check grammar. Probably take it to the writing center as well and have them check the grammar. Just because we found that she likes grammar.
Well, what I mean is, there's probably going to be sources we don't even decide to use, right?
Possibly. I mean,
Okay.
once y'all send it to me, I can compile. Like once I compile all of it, then I can be like, hey, this is what we have, and then we can be like, do we want to use this one or whatever?
Can we determine that, like, in this group thing, so that, like, if we don't want to use someone's, like, there's not an annotated bib for that, or should we just do all three? That way we have plenty to choose from. So there's 5 of the 1, 2.
I say all three. That way we have plenty to choose from.
Yeah, I'd rather have more than not enough.
Well, we kind of need to decide on the 3 recommendations we're going to make, though, right? Because that's what I'm saying. Like, if we have, let's say each one of us had focused on a different recommendation, then we'd have to choose 3 out of 5 anyway.
That's true.
So we'd be wasting our time if we're doing annotated bibliographies for something we're not even going to pursue.
Because we may need to find different sources anyways.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so what I focused on, I found a lawsuit that in late 2014 or it's going into 2015 about basically data security. Did you guys see anything about that?
I did, yeah.
Yeah. So Coke essentially had a bunch of laptops stolen from their headquarters in Atlanta that had employee information on it, like private information. So it's like a cybersecurity, data security issue. So I found that article through LexisNexis, an article talking about that. And then through EBSCOhost, I found an article that talks about the importance of cybersecurity and how to manage risk. And then I found another one detailing the hack of Home Depot, which even though it's on the consumer side, not the employee side, it's still personal information getting out. So I thought it was related. And it's the biggest, most famous case recently. And it talks about the legal consequences, and then how you can make incentives for companies to prevent that in the future. So I thought that was really interesting. And it talked about what can be done to make it where companies no longer have data so vulnerable, basically.
That's good.
And Home Depot is a big global company, just like Coke. So.
Through the articles that I found 3 that I was looking at, and I just looked at the New York Times, and I was looking at things that they had that Coca Cola had been mentioned in articles, and I was looking up those, and then I found one that I really liked, and it was like perfect for what we were talking about. It was talking about I know I've been seeing a lot of health things and how like the generations are kind of growing up, and we were talking about this, and people are like wanting to be more healthy, and so I don't know, maybe we could talk about the one that Seth was talking about within like that could be something we could do a recommendation for, and then maybe like the health things could be like a recommendation, and I don't know, what else has everybody else found?
I found some stuff about the lawsuit in the early 2000s, and it was the racial discrimination one. So I Googled that, and then I found two different articles on the stereotypical age effects inside the brand and who's more likely to sue within that demographic.
Okay.
So I don't know if you could do something like on a human resource side, like why are they suing the organization within it? Like what needs to be changed? Because it said a lot, like the 2 articles I found said that the upper management wasn't listening. Coca Cola wasn't listening to all the complaints from the consumers because they were lower end. Or not consumers, the employees. Like they were like middle class, and the upper were like, oh, it's just fine. That's just the way it is. So I don't know if that could be something.
Oh yeah, I think that's great. What do y'all think?
So then we have and then the health, and then human resources.
What was the second one you said, Riley? Or what did you say again? I'm sorry, you're kind of breaking up a little bit.
That was the hacking stuff, like.
Okay.
You said health, and I found some things, not necessarily health, but kind of like that. And then the human resources.
Okay. I thought from Taddy's I took away racial discrimination. That's kind of what I took from Taddy's. Hacking, personal info getting out, and like the health one I thought was cool. Another one I found was like that we might not want to do, but was like I thought was really cool. It was about advertising, and it was actually looking at advertising within different countries. And it was an article found that. Huh?
I found one just like that.
Oh really?
Coke, yeah.
And then we might want to do something with an advertising, like how Coke would advertise to China versus America. That would be kind of interesting.
I found something like that too. In chapter 14, because she told us like to look at chapter 14 or whatever for our stuff because it's global. And it talked about, I don't know if y'all read it, but like the consumer company identification. And in the book it says organizations often try to be proactive in developing and communicating, and they try to like impose themselves instead of adapting. And so that's kind of like that, like whatever article you found, just like how they would advertise to different places. How they form their identities with, I don't know, different places.
I like it.
Yeah, that's kind of like what I found too. Like in the articles that I looked up, they were just kind of comparing like kind of the old school way of advertising and marketing, like with like coupons and how they affect with other companies like Pepsi and things like that, and just like the negatives and positives of it. And then also I found something like that, like whenever the communication, like in China, and just how like the communication barrier is different from America and China, and being a global country, you have to know the differences in the cultures, or people are gonna not accept it, I guess. Mm-hmm. And then also I found another one that was like just environmental issues, but yeah.
A dog.
But no, I like the idea for the advertising as well,
Yeah, I do too.
and the other ones that we came up with.
So we have racial discrimination.
I think the global hacking we could do like I don't know if Target's a global brand, but like places like a bank or something, or places like that have been hacked before too, like being a security issue.
What was that Ashley Madison site? Didn't they have like the huge hack or all that other stuff, the affairs?
Wells Fargo, I think, just had something like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, that would be a good one because I mean, obviously, security is huge in America right now as far as people hacking in and with like the war and stuff going on. So I mean, I'm sure we can find something on that.
Okay.
And it's something that I think lots and lots of companies have a lot of room for.
Oh yeah, they probably don't invest a lot into it.
Okay. So I think then we've got our three. You're all good with the three we picked then? And then now we can each find 2 to 3 articles concerning those 3 recommendations.
So what are the three going to be? We'll line them out.
I took from what we were talking about was like racial discrimination from the one Taddy had, hacking personal info or like hacking/personal info getting out within a company, and then advertising across the globe. Since since Coke sells everywhere, how would they advertise to China differently? You know. So those are the 3 that I was picking up on. Are y'all okay? Do those sound good?
Yeah.
I agree with them.
Yeah.
Okay. So everyone can 2 to 3 articles concerning these, and I'll send these out in an email after this.
I found one.
Should we just? Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You go ahead.
I was gonna say so we should just find like one for each. Like one of us find advertising, one find racial, and the other find another one and just do it on that. So that way we have like 5 different ones we can choose from. I guess is that what's going on?
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
I was confused on what you were saying at first, but that's a great idea.
Yeah, because that'll have so much variety. What I was going to say was I found an article on how Coke restructured everything because the advertising was so broad, because it is a global. So now they have different like layers of their organization. Like there's certain people that are only in charge of different countries in Asia versus different countries in Africa. It's not like as a whole. So that might be interesting to, dig within and see how that's lined out.
One of the best like global advertisement companies is like McDonald's, hands down. So
Yeah, we can look at what they do.
They have their
like,
menu.
right?
McDonald's is always interesting. You go to McDonald's in another country and it's a completely different menu. I always find that so crazy.
They even have. I was in my sport marketing class last semester, and they said like they used them as an example, and they even said that they have different commercials within different regions in like America. So like based off socioeconomic like places.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, that's just insane.
That's crazy.
But it makes sense.
Yeah.
They rolled out that like gigantic Big Mac at McDonald's, and they were advertising like crazy in Texas, like Texas and Ohio or something. Because people in Texas like to eat a lot of food. Yeah.
I believe it.
And they made like an extra Big Mac that they started like just in Texas before they put it out.
Oh my gosh.
It went.
All right. So we got our 3 topics. So plan for the future. Seth had not Seth. Steven had a great idea. Everyone find one for each recommendation. And then we can do our annotated bibliographies. And do we want to do that by our next meeting?
Yeah, can you send us the examples so we kind of can scope out and see how we're doing it?
Oh yes, yeah. I'll send that out. I'll send an email after this with like our recommendations that we just came up with and the example annotated bibliography that I did last semester.
Thank you.
Yes.
Cool.
That sound good for
And then
everybody?
we're each gonna find one source for each of our recommendations. Is what you're saying, right?
Yes. So we all find one for security, one for the racial discrimination, and then one for the advertisement.
Yes.
Cool.
Does anybody notice we lost Riley?
Yeah, I saw she dropped off.
She said earlier that her phone was about to die, so I would guess.
Oh no, Riley!
She is here. Yeah. And then, so our only thing I will need to tell her, so the next time for the meeting, we plan to do it the 26th on Wednesday of next week. What time works best for everybody on Wednesdays?
Wait, say that again?
We had planned to do our next meeting on Wednesday the 26th of next week. What time works for everybody on Wednesdays?
Evening. I get off work at 5:30. I'm home at around 6 or 6:15. So.
in the same boat. Yeah.